Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's Takes with Alex. I'm your host, Alex. Happy Monday and happy new week. Today we are diving deeper into Parshas Pinchas, and so let's go. The title of the video is The Covenant of Peace, Understanding the Bris Shalom, or the Covenant of Peace, and the Hidden Wisdom of Parshas Pinchas. So in the midst of chaos, moral collapse, and a devastating plague, one man's decisive act changes everything. A covenant of peace is established. Daily offerings and sacred holidays are commanded in the same breath. Parshas Pinchas contains some of the most dramatic and spiritually rich moments in the Torah. At its heart is the mysterious Bris Shalom, the covenant of peace, given to Pinchas after his act of zealotry. Today we explore what Bris Shalom truly means, the connection between Pinchas' bold action and the themes of the daily Tamid offering and the holidays. This teaching is universal for every person who longs for lasting peace after conflict, or who seeks to understand how passion and holiness can coexist. Rooted in the eternal Torah and illuminated by Hasidic insight, we will discover how one moment of courageous love can bring healing that echoes through generations. So after the devastating sin with the Moabite and Midianite women, a plague spreads through the Israelite camp. Now we have to remember this huge swarm of women were sent by Bilam and Balak specifically as a way to undermine the Jewish men at the time. They were otherwise, adhering to the laws of procreation. And anyway, so again, the whole point was Balak hired Bilam to go and to curse or otherwise undermine the Jewish people at the time from advancing through Midian or in Moab on their way to Israel. And so these women went there specifically to seduce and entice the men, and we'll find out what happens. Okay, so after the devastating sin with the Moabite and Midianite women, a plague spreads through the Israelite camp. In an act of public defiance, Zimri, a prince of the tribe of Shimon, brings Cosbi, a Midianite princess, into his tent before Moses and the entire community. Pinchas, the grandson of Aaron, the high priest, rises with holy zeal. He takes a spear and ends the desecration in one decisive moment. The plague stops immediately. God then speaks to Moses, praising Pinchas. He turned back my wrath from the children of Israel. Therefore say, behold, I give him my covenant of peace. This covenant of peace is extraordinary. It is a covenant of peace granted because of an act that involved violence. The Torah that continues seamlessly into the laws of the daily Tamid offering and the special sacrifices of the holy day. So after this whole sequence, then the Torah teaches us about the Tamid offering, which is a continuous daily, slow and steady offering that's brought, and then the sacrifices of the holidays. Right, and we spoke before about how the sacrifices are a way of appeasing and restoring alignment and peace between us and God. So it all kind of makes sense. Right? So on the surface, these seem unrelated, but the Torah is teaching something profound. True peace is not the absence of all conflict, but the restoration of holiness and divine order. The Tamid offering, brought twice daily, represents constant connection with God. The festivals mark sacred times of joy and closeness. Together, they show that after a crisis is resolved through zealous love for holiness, the path forward is renewed dedication to regular, steady service and celebration. Hasidic masters saw tremendous depth in Bris Shalom. The Baal Shem Tov and his students taught that true peace is born from passionate love for God and for the holiness of the community. Pinchas' zeal was not hatred, it was a burning love that refused to let destruction continue. Because his motivation was pure, it brought lasting peace rather than more conflict. In Hasidic thought, this covenant represents the soul's ability to return to wholeness after falling. The sin of the at Baal Peor was a collective descent. Pinchas' act created the possibility for repentance and renewal. The daily Tamid offering that follows symbolizes the steady, consistent service that rebuilds connection after crisis. The holidays represent the joy that comes when peace is restored. Well, we have the Beis Hamikdash, and we have the migration, the Aliyah to Israel for the holidays to sacrifice, right? So that actually is really nice. Peace is a very important thing. It's what allows us to. It's what's going to allow us to move forward. The masters emphasize that healthy zeal must always be rooted in love and humility. When passion serves holiness rather than ego, it becomes a force of repair. The covenant of peace teaches us that even after painful confrontations with darkness, genuine peace can emerge when the motivation is to protect and elevate rather than to destroy. The spiritual significance of Bris Shalom and its surrounding teachings offers every human being profound wisdom. It shows us that true peace often requires courageous action. Sometimes love demands that we stand up clearly against what is wrong. It reveals that passion and peace can coexist. Holy zeal, when pure, does not lead to endless conflict. It restores harmony. And I think if we think about like revolutions and even Parshas Korach, or whatever it might be, right? There's a status quo, and it's only when people have a overflowing passion for one way or the other that passion is actually contagious, right? Someone with passion can go and inspire and motivate other people and develop movements. So it's about channeling the passion, especially when we develop a positive, balanced status quo, that the passion should go into maintaining it. It teaches the power of return after crisis. After moments of moral failure or communal breakdown, steady service like the Tamid offering and joyful connection like the festival offerings rebuild what was broken. It reminds us that God values intention, and so that's an interesting thing, interesting concept. The Tamid offering is brought every day, right? Regardless of the day, it's brought every day. It's steady, it's consistent. You know what to expect. And then you have the festivals, kind of sprinkled throughout the year, and it's a very joyous occasion. That's when the passion arises, and it corresponds with certain, as we talked about in other videos, certain energies and certain happenings that are made available, right, during those times of the year. So that passion should be channeled into these these points throughout the year, to give energy through the service and to receive blessing back into us, into the world. It reminds us that God values intention. Pinchas was rewarded not for violence, but for the love and self-sacrifice behind his act. Our motivations matter deeply. It points toward ultimate redemption. The covenant of peace is a taste of the world of complete peace that we are all moving toward. How can we bring this wisdom into our lives? Well, cultivate holy passion. Stand for goodness and truth with courage, but always check that love, not ego, is driving you. Seek peace actively. After necessary confrontation, take concrete steps toward reconciliation and healing. Return to steady service. After difficult seasons, reestablish daily practices that reconnect you to what is holy. Celebrate restored peace. Mark moments of healing and harmony with gratitude and joy, just as the Torah follows Pinchas's act with festivals. Act with humility. Remember that true zeal serves a higher purpose, not personal glory. Trust in redemption. Believe that even painful chapters can lead to greater peace and blessing. The covenant of the Bris Shalom, the covenant of peace, shows us that passionate love for holiness can bring lasting peace. When we connect ourselves to goodness, and we seek goodness, and we strive for goodness, right, at the expense of our ego, we connect to the highest good, and we become vessels and agents and kalim for that goodness. As long as we're able to stay motivated to perform, divine service. Even after darkness, steady service and joyful connection can restore wholeness. This week, look for one place where healthy zeal or the pursuit of peace is needed. Take one meaningful step with love and courage. Trust that God can turn even difficult moments into covenants of peace. If this teaching moved you, share in the comments. Where in your life are you called to pursue peace with holy passion right now? So, if these words brought clarity, inspiration to your heart, subscribe for more explorations of Torah and Hasidic wisdom, made alive for our time, and turn on notifications. May we see Torah teachings and Hasidus move through the world like waves, inspiring us and bringing us closer and elevating our souls, elevating our understanding and connection to God, and ultimately to ourselves and to the people around us. May you walk with the zeal of Pinchas and the peace of the covenant. May your life become a source of healing and harmony for yourself and for others. Until next time, stand for what is right, pursue peace with all your heart, and let divine light shine through every act of love. Guys, have a great week. I appreciate you checking in and your support. Be healthy, be happy, be blessed, be successful, and looking forward to a good week. Thanks so much.